This is American Wagyu ground beef that I purchased at Sam's Club. They come in 1-pound packages with 3 of these in a strip. For 3 pounds of American Wagyu, it was around $15, so about $5 per pound. Not bad and worth a try. I'm making 2 nice-sized burgers with 1 pound and just simply seasoning with a little salt and black pepper. As soon as I took the meat out of the package, I could smell a more beefy aroma, and the feel of the meat is much fattier and greasier. I didn't handle the meat too much. I just quickly formed 2 patties and made a little indent in the middle of each so they don't bulge when cooking. Before I cook the Wagyu burgers, I'm getting everything ready. I made some yum-yum sauce for the burgers and fries. I made a video recipe and that will be uploading very soon. It really turned out good. Along with the Wagyu burgers, I'm making some French fries, and yes, I'm cheating and using frozen tonight. It's all good. We like our French fries nice and crispy. One last thing, and that is the bun. I'm using a brioche bun, brushing with a little butter and lightly toasting. I have my large cast iron pan on medium-high heat, and I just lightly brushed with a little oil. If you're unable to grill or don't have a Blackstone, using your cast iron pan is a nice backup. I'm placing in my Wagyu beef burgers and seasoning the other side with some salt and black pepper. Letting the burgers cook for 2 to 3 minutes or until that nice caramelized crust forms. I can smell the beef already, and it's smelling good. You can see the fat is rendering and making a lot of flavor. After a couple minutes, I'm flipping over the Wagyu burgers and cooking for another couple of minutes. I know some of you like to have a little pink in your burgers, but here at my house, we like any ground meat well done. Just my thought. When you have ground meat from an unknown source and from multiple animals, I like to make sure that that meat is cooked completely. These are large and thick half-pound burgers, so I'm turning down my heat to medium, covering and cooking for another minute. It's a must to have cheese. I'm using a slice of sharp cheddar cheese. Turning off my heat, covering for about 20 to 30 seconds, just enough to melt the cheese. The burgers are done, and let's make a plate. A little drizzle of the yum-yum sauce on the toasted bun. Lettuce. Tomato. And finally, the Wagyu burger. This turned out to be a great burger. The Wagyu beef has a nice, deep, rich flavor, almost gamey in a way, but a good way. The texture is tender with a nice, greasy juiciness. The caramelized crust also adds a ton of flavor. Even cooking the Wagyu burger well done, you can see there is some juicy goodness in there. I don't know how this American Wagyu beef burger compares to the Japanese Wagyu beef, but it was worth the try, and we really enjoyed. I can already think of a couple other recipes that I plan to make with the American Wagyu beef burger. If you happen to give the Wagyu beef a try, let me know what you made and how you liked it in the comment section below. Enjoy! Tonight is going to be patty melt night, and these are going to be Hungry Man patty melts. First, I'm making my caramelized onions. I have 2 medium-sized yellow onions that I'm slicing about 1/8 of an inch thick. In my pan on low-medium heat, I'm adding in a couple tablespoons of butter and 1 tablespoon of olive oil. The added oil helps prolong the cooking of the onions till they caramelize, and this is going to take about 30 minutes. As the onions cook, they will release their sugars, turn a nice brown caramelized color, and they will really add to the flavor and deliciousness of these patty melts. I purchased some ground beef, and you want to use an 80% blend for a good juicy burger. Like they say, fat is flavor. This is about an 85% blend ground beef, but they're still going to be juicy and delicious because I'm making a Hungry Man half-pound patty melt. Oh yeah! In my bowl, I have 1½ pounds of ground beef, and I'm adding in about 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt and black pepper, a sprinkle of garlic powder, and about 2 teaspoons of Worcestershire sauce. You can add more if you like, but I don't want a lot of seasonings in the burger. Lightly mixed together and forming into 3 patties. I'm making the patties oval shaped so they will fit the rye bread. You also want to make some slight indents in the middle of the patty so when they cook they will remain flat and not bubble up. You can use any pan or grill to cook the patties, but tonight I'm using my cast iron skillet. On medium-high heat, I'm adding in some butter and olive oil and placing in the patties. Let them cook untouched for a couple minutes until they form a nice crust. You will see the patties changing color around the side. Give the patties a flip and let them cook until they're done. Remove from the pan, cover, and let them rest for about 10 minutes just like you would a steak. This will give the juices time to disperse within the burger. Now we are ready to make these patty melts. I'm generously buttering the outside of the rye bread and making sure I get all the edges. You don't have to add any condiments, but I like a nice slather of mayonnaise. In my pan on low heat, I'm adding in a tablespoon of butter and melting. I have an electric stove and my setting is at a 4. Placing my rye bread butter side down. Adding a slice of Swiss cheese, my juicy beef patty, a nice healthy layer of caramelized onions, and I like to cover the patty. Another slice or 2 of Swiss cheese, and the other piece of buttered rye bread. Give the patty melt a good smash with your spatula to glue and bring everything together. Let it cook for a minute or 2 and give it a flip. Cook for another minute or 2 until the cheese is melted and the outside is a toasted golden brown. Let's make another Hungry Man patty melt. If you haven't already done so, please hit that like and subscribe button for my future video recipes. Feel free to share this recipe with your friends and family. This really helps my channel grow and it is greatly appreciated. Now all that is left is the eating, and that's the best part. You can make these patties smaller and flatter, but these Hungry Man half-pound patty melts make a meal. As you can see, even using a slightly higher percentage ground beef, the patty melts are nice and juicy. They are absolutely delicious and tasted like steak. The sweetness of the caramelized onions and the salty tang of the Swiss cheese adds a nice balance. And the rye bread, it brings it all together. Serving tonight with some potato chips and some of my homemade pickled green tomatoes. I hope this recipe video has inspired you to make your own patty melts. Enjoy! If you like this video recipe, please hit the like and subscribe button. Remember to hit the bell next to the subscribe to make sure that you get my future video recipes. You can also find me on Facebook and at my website. Feel free to share this recipe and my channel with your friends and family. And until next time, much love!